with Gina.
The news with Gina Grad.
Okay, real quick, with all this hot boogie talk we've been having, am I going insane, or did Eddie Murphy have a song called Boogie in Your Butt?
Yes.
Thank you.
He did.
I don't know why he had it. I just want to make sure that he did, in fact, have it. Okay. So Donald Trump abruptly walked out of his COVID-19 press briefing on Monday after he became annoyed with a couple of female reporters. And this has been picking up a lot of steam in the last day or two. CBS News reporter Weijia Jiang asked the president a question, which led to a heated exchange. Trump then pointed to CNN's Caitlin Collins, but she paused to allow Jiang to finish her exchange. Trump didn't seem to like that too much. He left the podium. If you haven't seen it, here's the clip.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Said many times that the U.S. is doing far better than any other country when it comes to testing.
Yes.
Why does that matter? Why is this a global competition to you if everyday Americans are still losing their lives and we're still seeing more cases every day?
Well, they're losing their lives everywhere in the world. And maybe that's a question you should ask China. Don't ask me. Ask China that question, okay? When you ask them that question, you may get a very unusual answer. Yes, behind you, please.
She's Asian. She's a little confused.
What, sir, why are you saying that to me specifically?
I'm telling you. I'm not saying it specifically to anybody. I'm saying it to anybody that would ask a nasty question like that.
That's not a nasty
question. Please go ahead.
Why does it matter?
Okay. Anybody else? Please, go ahead in the back, please.
I have two questions.
No, it's okay.
But you pointed to me. I have two questions, Mr. President.
Next, please.
But you called on me.
I did, and you didn't respond, and now I'm calling on the young lady in the back, please.
I just wanted to let my colleague finish, but can I ask you
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
She didn't respond.
And scene.
She was standing right there, like keeping her distance, waiting to approach the mic.
What the... I thought didn't you say the other one gave her time back to the Asian reporter lady? Or
she said, I was waiting for my colleague to finish.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Or not like Maxine saying, what did Maxine say?
Well, reclaiming my time.
Reclaiming my time.
It is on, everybody. Jesus, goddamn Christ.
Yeah.
He shouldn't even. Should he give press conferences anymore?
What's the point?
No, we shouldn't.
What's the point for anybody?
Well, it's not going to work anymore because it is basically, there's a kind of I get back to sort of a couples, you know what I mean? There's a version where you want to sit down and you want to solve a problem. And then there's a version where you just want to sit down and you want to explain to the third person in the room, like the therapist, what's wrong with that other person. And then they want to say what's wrong with you. And then you want to make this case. We talked about it before, but I'm saying is I think we've crossed that threshold with Trump. He's going to have everyone's loading up a gotcha question. He's going to fire back with more gotcha shit on his side. And it's not even worth doing it anymore.
Objectively, it feels like he's doing more harm than good, both to himself. The people are just believing him less, but also like he's not giving out information. Like it's more, the combative, like you said, than actually giving out information about COVID.
I agree, but if you listen to the way a lot of the questions are phrased, it's not even. Some of them aren't even phrased as a question. They're just like Jim Acosta's just giving him gotcha, making comments that aren't in the form of a question, and that's what's pissing Trump off as well. So I think it's a two-way street. I think they could both. Reporters could ask questions and he could give answers, or he could give answers and they could ask questions. It'd be a better world, but I don't know that. I don't think we can do that right now. I think
not much of substance is coming out of these.
No.
Yeah, I'm looking for the tweet. I do believe Jimmy Kimmel got a significant shout out from the president in the last couple of days, an honorable mention, if you will.
He just literally.
Maybe you can find that.
I sent him. We're on a text chain last night. Because Jimmy gave a very eloquent rebuttal or something to this Twitter war. Jimmy was making fun of Pence in a sort of gotcha moment, like a hot mic moment. The story wasn't really what Jimmy had portrayed. Not that Jimmy cooked it intentionally. It's like what happens is there's 30 minutes of tape and you have a segment producer and they show you the first 45 seconds and you go, oh, good. Yeah, let's run with that. And if you watch the whole thing,
tells a different story. And I'm not. First off, there's a little fog of war. Like there is an element of when you're prepping a monologue, you don't have 37 minutes to watch an entire C-SPAN clip of Mike Pence. You just don't.
Right.
You rely on people around you. They show you the clip, they show you the bite, and you go run with it. Put it in the teleprompter. Let's get it going. So Jimmy had basically made fun of Mike Pence in this sort of gotcha moment of Mike Pence, who was delivering supplies to a hospital, photo op, the vice president is bringing boxes. Because you guys, anyone who's moved knows you can't do it with college students. You need the vice president. And once in a while,
call the administration.
I'll have like the ambassador from Greece or something like in a pinch.
In a pinch.
But to really move boxes effectively, you need guys in three-piece suits. Right.
We've all seen the trucks going down the street, starving vice presidents.
Starving politicians.
So they're doing the dumb photo op where Mike Pence is going to help carry boxes into the hospital with the things that the respirators or, whatever the equipment. And he does the first couple of boxes, I guess, and then he gets to the next box, and he's got a mic on, and he says, like, this box is empty, and then he kind of makes this joke, or as much as Mike Pence can joke, I guess. He says, like, you want me to carry it in for the film crew anyway, or something like that. Like, you want to carry an empty box.
Right.
Now, in my world, all of the boxes are empty because there's no reason to have the vice president moving boxes with fucking dust masks in them, right? We'd have a donkey can do that. So, like, symbolically, they're all empty if you really think about it. But he got kind of caught saying that into a live mic. Jimmy pounced on it, but it turned out that Pence knew it was empty, knew he was kidding, and kind of was in on the joke. So it wasn't a gotcha moment. Jimmy pounced. Pence, like, fired back. And the next thing you know, Jimmy spent his like Mother's Day weekend answering tweets from the president. But anyway, Jimmy gave a very funny, a poignant, interesting monologue on Monday night's show or Monday night show. And so I sent him a text. I guess I was on this text chain with, I don't know how the text chain works. I really don't. Sometimes it's me, Jimmy, and Daniel, and Cousin Sal. And then sometimes it's me, Jimmy, Daniel, Cousin Sal, and Jeff Ross. And then sometimes it's me, Jimmy, Cousin Sal, Daniel, and Bill Simmons. And I don't know how the other people get there. And I also don't know when I'm answering. Am I just answering Jimmy, or am I sending it to Jeff Ross and Simmons too? And sometimes
just be careful and try not to talk too much shit because you don't know which thread you're on.
I don't know. They for
sure have DTA text chains.
So I think there was one where Jimmy was, I don't know if it was Daniel talking shit about me for not washing my hands. And then I wrote back, and Jimmy said, like, in defense of me, like, well, to be fair, Adam hasn't used soap in 20 years. Like, this isn't
on any part of his body.
Right. This is not me taking some COVID-19 stand. This is something I was into in 1999. And so we were having fun back and forth. But at some point I said to Jimmy after this monologue, I said, and this is interesting. I said, so it was him doing his monologue from home, 5.5 minutes. We don't have to look at it, but it was a very nice mixture of comedy, and it was poised, and it was funny, but it was also well thought out, and it was articulate, and it was a nice piece of work. You know what I mean? And I said to him, when you first started going without an audience, it was a little weird seeing someone doing a monologue, late night monologue with no audience. But that monologue that you delivered tonight wouldn't have been possible with an audience. You can't take that kind of time. You can't let it breathe. You have to weave in jokes. You're also playing to the tempo of the audience, you know. You're not going to stand there. 5 minutes and 46 seconds doesn't sound long. It's a long time to be standing there without a bunch of jokes, you know, and talking more about feelings and nuanced feelings. So I said that, well done, and also kind of interesting that you went to a place that you wouldn't have gone to in front of an audience. And we have that now as a byproduct of no audience. Now you're going into more interesting territory and interesting places that you wouldn't have gone into. And then I think Max Zapata, I can't remember, every once in a while I'll have a flashback to something from the Man Show, and I told him it was his best work since he inducted Scott Baio into the Man Show Hall of Fame in like 2002. We used to induct people. We had the Man Show Hall of Fame, as I realized it. And of course, it was always based on nailing a bunch of banging everyone in Hollywood was the Scott Baio Hall of Fame. We've never looked at any of those Hall of Fame bits, have we?
No.
I don't think so. Not here.
I think we've inducted a few people into the Man Show Hall of Fame, and I think Jimmy inducted Scott Baio into the Man Show Hall of Fame. And and as Jimmy wrote back, you know, ha ha ha, he wouldn't come to the. We would invite you to be in when we inducted you into the Man Show Hall of Fame. We would invite you to take your prize, but Baio didn't want to take his prize because the only way you got inducted is if you fucked a lot of 22-year-olds you were working with. That was basically, I would have showed up.
Is that something to be ashamed of?
Yeah. So anyway, Max, if you ever find it, you can tell me.
I haven't found it yet, but I will tell you this. On scottbaio.com, in his biography, in 2005, TV guy named Baio, one of the greatest teen idols of all time. He was even inducted into the Man Show Hall of Fame due to his impressive dating history and leading Hollywood leading Hollywood ladies. So it's in his actual website.
Can you imagine in the Me Too era being putting the notion of somebody writing an article on you in 05, like, oh, he loved the ladies. He was he was prolific. Like
really plowed through them.
Yep. All right, Gina, sorry, what else you got?
Well, Tesla CEO Elon Musk reopened his production plant in California in defiance of the state and local stay-at-home orders and even challenged the authorities to arrest him. The billionaire made the decision to restart the production just days after he sued Alameda County, that's up where he is near San Francisco, to reopen the plant and also threatened to move the facility out of California. Musk pointed out that other auto companies in the country have been approved to reopen and believes Tesla is being singled out. He assured workers the company has taken all necessary safety precautions, providing PPE. And speaking of photo ops, we reported last night that he even said he was going to be on the assembly line with the workers. And he said, if you have to arrest me, just, give us a chance to get some stuff up and running. And President Trump weighed in, said California should let Tesla and Elon Musk open the plant now, all caps. It can be done fast and safely.
Who was Max Pata? Drew was talking about some city council woman that just told him to fuck himself or something.
From San Diego.
You can find that one. But Elon Musk, first things first, he is a perfect example, like he may pick up and move or who knows, but Elon Musk is a perfect example of F me money. He's got FM money.
That's right.
I'm so glad you said that. I tweeted that to you when the story
Brian
broke.
Is so happy.
And a number of assholes were like, "Oh, it's not fuck me money. He's going to save money in the long run." Fuck you. First of all, you don't know that he could move to Nevada, and 2 years later they could change their law about what a shock, they're raising their taxes on corporations. But it is exactly fuck me money. Thank you so much, AdamCarolla, for saying that.
Thank you, Brian Bishop. Yeah, and it's FM money, not FU money. FU is I'm in the FU bracket. He's an F me bracket, and that he can fuck himself up and he doesn't care. It's worth it. It's the ultimate reason to have money is to do that.
Even if he does save money in the long run, ostensibly, he's losing a huge amount of money up front. He has to relocate his business, build an auto manufacturing plant, and hire an entire new workforce in another state. It's a huge outlay of cash, but it doesn't matter to him because he's super fucking rich, so fuck him. I mean, he says, fuck me.
And so here's the thing. He would like to reopen his business. And remember, we like electric cars, and he had Lorena Gonzalez, Assemblywoman representing San Diego, just tweet, fuck Elon Musk. But
to the point.
I don't know. Is this the person we want making policy? He said, I want to reopen my factory and I'll do it in a safe way. I'll have the spacing, I'll comply, and I'll do it at 30% capacity or whatever the story is. And Alameda County went, no, you can't do that. And it's like, I don't know. Why not? Why can't he? And also, you do understand that whether you're Elon Musk and you're Tesla, or you're the woman who had the hair salon in Dallas, Texas, you understand that people can make the choice not to come in. Like if people don't want to enter your hair salon, they do not have to enter your hair salon. They make that choice for themselves. And they see how you're doing your distancing and you have a station outside and are people wearing masks and are they numbering the people who come in the salon? And if they don't like what they see, then they don't have to enter the salon. We are missing something that is uniquely American, which is Elon is deciding what to do with his company, and he is the person who cares the most about safely continuing. He doesn't want to get lawsuits. He doesn't want to have people come down with COVID-19. He is going to do that. And also, if there's somebody who works for Elon Musk and they're pregnant or they're at risk or they have diabetes, they then can decide for themselves whether they think it's safe to go back to work or not. We seem to be glossing right past that part of our society. That's a very important part of our society. So she's just like, fuck Elon. And then Elon is like, he's the last car company in California. California had a huge car culture. I think Toyota moved to Tennessee or somewhere around there. Nissan may have moved to Tennessee, or Toyota went to one of the Carolinas or something. These huge companies that employ tons of people and create tons of revenue and taxes, they get up and leave eventually because the politicians treat them like shit. Like they really just they treat them like some sort of change purse, and when they're done getting the money out of them, they just sort of discard them.
They drove them away, pardon the pun.
Yeah, pardon the pun. And I don't know who this politician in San Diego is, but be glad that Elon has decided to set up camp in California with SpaceX and Tesla. And not only is it a thing where not only do you get the tax revenue and the job creations, but you get the prestige of having a SpaceX in your town or in your community, and same with Tesla. It's cool. It's cool that the innovators are here. Nissan.
Well, and it's our main examples when we talk about the coast or we talk about California being the cutting edge. What's our example going to be? We say we have SpaceX, we have Tesla, we have Silicon Valley.
Right. Nissan moved from Gardena to Franklin, Tennessee in 2006 with 1,300 workers, and Toyota moved to Texas in 2014 with 2,000 workers. These are big companies that generate a lot of jobs. I would be fighting to keep them, but okay. So bizarre. Do you guys notice right and left, kind of a weird thing with politicians kind of thinking they're the stars? Like it's like a weird thing going on where and it's kind of true. Like Barack and Michelle Obama are much bigger stars than anyone in Hollywood, but there's something going on. There's a kind of a status going on now versus serving the community, or ask not what you can do for your country, or ask not what your country can do for you kind of thing. Like, there's a new world order where they're just making decrees, and it's getting a little, I'm looking to reel it in. Oh, you have
not just that, but like left and right. They're all TV stars. They all want to be on the shows, the whatever. Right. They're in the hearings or whatever. They're all playing to the camera. You know what I mean? It's a look at me thing.
Yeah, it's a little disturbing.
I think I have to be like that to get into politics.
What? Say it again, Brian?
Sorry, I think you have to be like that a little bit to get into politics.
Well, certainly these days. We got the Scott Baio Man Show Hall of Fame.
Season 1.
Welcome back to the Man Show. I'm Jimmy Kimmel, and this is the Man Show Hall of Fame. Hallowed walls erected to honor the great men of our time. Men like, well, nobody yet, because it's the first one we've done. But you have to start someplace, and that someplace is Brooklyn, New York. The date, September 22nd, 1961. The day a child was born. A child that would ultimately change the course of television history. His name was Scott Baio. In 1977, he burst into our consciousness like no one since the Beatles. As Chachi Arcola, streetwise nephew to the Fonz, he captured the imagination of American teenagers searching for a hero. Chachi was that hero, receiving 5,000 fan letters a week. More than co-stars Donnie Most and Anson Williams combined. Those were happy days indeed. The nation so loved this genial young Italian that in 1982, ABC gave him his own series, a spin-off star vehicle called Joni Loves Chachi. Yes, alas, Scott's talents were both underused and overestimated, and Joni Loves Chachi died a quick death at the hands of network brass. But he would not be deterred. Later that year, the big screen came calling, and with it, the beginning of a remarkable partnership with fellow teen idol Willie Ames. The movie was zapped, and the results were magical. Scott returned to his first love, television. Again paired with the mop-top Ames, Charles in Charge began an extraordinary 7-year run. But even more extraordinary than Scott's professional career is his personal life. While Ames spiraled into oblivion, Baio has been linked with some of the most desirable women in the world. Heather Locklear, Nicolette Sheridan, Brooke Shields, that girl who was on Growing Pains, Melissa Gilbert, Beverly D'Angelo, Nicole Eggert, and Pamela Anderson, to whom he was engaged. Yes, an impressive list, impressive indeed. And it grows longer every day. Right now, somewhere in Hollywood, Scott Baio is quietly humping the bejesus out of yet another spectacular babe. But how? Why? How does a man of such limited ability bag Heather Locklear? How does Chachi get Pamela Anderson? Is he a hypnotist? A warlock? Perhaps he has a pact with Satan. Satan?
Scott Barris doesn't know. All right.
No,
that's
powers,
good. You get
no
it.
amazing.
I forgot we used to do Man Show Hall of Fame inductions. Who have we
I'm
all?
looking at Wikipedia. The other inductees: Andre the Giant and Frank Gifford.
Wow, it's quite an impressive list.
And this honor is also included on Scott Baio's IMDb page. So he's
all right.
God, really riding this one.
That Man Show. Well, we'll look for Andre the Giant for another show. I remember that one being kind of funny. We'd have to fill up the calendar every year, so it's like every year is like Man Show Hall of Fame. I will do that in show 13. That's one thing we could do, and we just keep. That's how we just fill it in. But I forgot Manovations, all that stuff. It was a funny show, actually. I missed that show. All right, Let's do one more, Gina Gran.
All right. Well, NBC News reports that Facebook put misinformation warning labels on about 50 million pieces of content related to COVID-19 during the month of April. They announced that on Tuesday. The social networking site attaches these warnings to posts sharing articles that have been reviewed by the company's independent fact-checking partners. The company said the warnings greatly reduce the number of people who even view the content. So that's probably a good thing.
God, 50 million?
Yeah. 50 million pieces of content related to COVID-19.
Are humans doing this, or are they looking for words?
I mean, that would make sense. They said it's their independent fact-checking partners. It could be an algorithm base.
God, it's such a weird time we're living in. I don't know. Like, I'm not sure anymore. Everyone's going to have to really super tune their ability to deduce fact from fiction and to sort of do what's right for them. Like, right. Because there's so much information being fed to everyone, and it can pull you in so many different directions that you're really going to have a strong base, and you're going to have to everything's going to have to pass the sniff test. Like, you have to go, right. That doesn't make sense, or that makes sense. But you need some base in reality, because otherwise it's like, I don't know. It's like if you turn on your computer and it says Gina Grad, click here to collect $50 million. Well, you can't click there, and obviously you're not going to click there, but you're also going to think, why would someone just give me $50 million? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to have to...
Who cares? Click quick.
Right. So we're all just going to kind of need that. Yeah. They will use an internal system.
Yeah, it says they will use internal systems to proactively monitor the tweets and rely on trusted partners, such as non-governmental organizations and think tanks, to identify content that could cause harm.
All right. Where were we? One more?
Bringing it home?
Well, what was that? What was that one? Oh,
that was
50 million. All right, do one more. Let's do one more.
All right. So I know you're not you know what? We'll do this one. This is kind of funny. A small group of Florida residents, in an uproar about the state's limited business openings, protested Monday against the statewide gym closures. And they did it in a way that only these muscle-bound dudes could. According to WFLA TV, a group of nearly 30 protesters, I think we have video, gathered in front of the county courthouse in Clearwater and performed various exercises together, push-ups, sit-ups, squats, whatever you could, to bring attention to the gym closures. These protests were organized to make a public statement demanding that businesses be allowed to open up despite the virus outbreak. Florida gyms aren't allowed to reopen until we reach phase 2 of Governor Ron DeSantis's reopening plan. But it kind of doesn't. I was laughing at this because I thought, well, aren't they just kind of showing that you can really work out anywhere and it doesn't have to be the gym?
Yeah.
And they're doing it on the sidewalk.
Yeah, just lift that potted plant at your own home.
Yeah.
I agree. You know, the gym, it's very essential to a lot of people, but I also get where there's fluids flying around, and that seems like it just seems trickier to reopen than a restaurant would, where everyone just sits 6 feet apart.
Heavy breathing and sweating.
You know, I keep, I don't know why I keep thinking about hair salons and haircuts and stuff like that, but the more I think about it, I don't know why you need a license to cut hair. Why would you need a license? Why do you need to get licensed in the state of California or whatever state you're in to cut hair? Like, this is, to me, a perfect example if people say to me, what are your politics, or how do you believe a system should work? I would say, I don't want the government issuing you a license to cut hair and or revoking your license if you're not doing what they tell you to do. What I want you to do is you can open a barber shop or salon. Now, if you're working with caustic or dangerous chemicals or something, that's sort of a different story. But if you're just cutting hair or giving shaves or whatever it is, I will let you open that business, and then we will see how good you are at cutting hair. because no one died of a bad haircut. So if you come in and you get a shitty haircut, well, then no one's coming back and you'll lose your business. But I don't think the government really needs to be involved with the licensing. And I feel the same way about like Uber. Like you could die in a car wreck a lot faster than you could die getting a haircut. But we trust that guy to be a decent enough driver that we'll get in the back of that guy's car. And we kind of made this argument with cabs a while ago. Like when Uber came in, like, hey, these guys aren't bonded. They need a license. They need a medallion. Turns out anyone can pick you up from the airport.
Yeah.
Sorry,
or do they?
Brian, were you going to say something?
No, I agree with you. Sorry, I was just stretching my finger. Yeah, it's weird that we would, of all things, not require, some sort of licensing or bonding for the most, dangerous thing, which would be driving someone.
You have to have a driver's license.
It's a driver's license, but to pick up strangers and drive them around?
I had a license when I was 16 and had no idea what I was doing, driving a car. And also the thing about haircutting, too, is a lot of families and a lot of moms or something do it for their kids anyway. So how inherently dangerous? Why would we need the government to get involved with this? If your mom's been cutting your hair since you were 7 at home, what do we need all the licensing? And then what you get into is like, oh, we need X amount of hours, and you have to get a certificate, and you have to complete, and that it costs a lot of money. Like it costs a lot of money, and it takes a lot of time. Anyway,